My name is Jevonte, and I am the right-hand man of the Bloodline podcast. My story began at Nyack Hospital to two Jamaican loving parents. I know, scary thing, right? My mom is Jamaican, dad has Jamaican mom, but he was born in the Bronx. So a little bit about me. Growing up, I would call myself a little bit like a nomad, because we started off in one place, but we did move a lot, especially after I lost my dad in 2009. We just started moving a lot from place to place, just trying to stay comfortable. Just me, my mom, and my sister. So growing up, I would consider myself a very shy kid. I was always literally really quiet. I struggled to make friends a little bit, especially from like first grade to third. And then when I moved to a whole new school district, it was a lot scarier because it was a whole new environment, different people, had to relearn everybody's names, just trying to get used to things. I had to adapt. I had to put myself out there, be like, hey, I'm the new kid. It's nice to know people. I just wanted to be accepted. It worked. As time went on, I became a lot more comfortable with everybody else. Then I started switching schools again, where I had to redo the whole thing over and over again. So when that happened, I was definitely not in the best headspace. I was a lot more sad because I left all my friends behind. I didn't really get nobody's numbers. I wasn't really into social media, so I had no way of keeping contact. Throughout my years, I did struggle with my weight. I used to stress eat a lot, so I did gain a lot more weight over time. As I was sad, if I was really thinking too much, I would just use food as a coping mechanism. As I got older and older, my body started changing. I started getting into more sports because I noticed that like this isn't okay. I started trying to be a better person by being like, everything's okay. You just gotta remember who you are. Just be you, because there's nothing wrong with being you. So I started building up my confidence a little more each year of my life, through high school and to adulthood now. I'm an automotive technician at a dealership. I like it. It's a lot of fun to work on cars, seeing new things every single day, new challenges. I didn't expect myself to be in this position at all, because at first, when I finished high school, I was a really big photography major, but then I switched because COVID struck, and then I lost my drive to take my pictures. I stopped going to school for about 2 years, and then I noticed that with my old car, I was always experiencing problems. I'm like, I don't like having to go to the shop and have to pay people money to fix my car. So over time, I started learning myself, and then I went to school for that, and then I found myself in a dealership job. I'm telling you, working on cars is very interesting. New things you see every single day. How does one person do this with their car? Yeah. I want to achieve a level called a master technician level. You pretty much know everything about every component of the car. You have to pass 8 tests in order to achieve that status. It takes a while because it definitely takes a lot of knowledge. It takes a lot of retaining information and a lot of learning and a lot of experience in order to get to that status. And I hope to one day I reach that status, but I got to take it day by day and keep pushing. Helping people in any type of way, it's always been a big thing as growing up. My mother always told me, you have a big heart, you're always so nice, helping others, don't let people take it for granted. Sometimes it did happen, but then you learn from those mistakes. However, I will say, just like helping people has always been like my big thing. I like to be able to put a smile on someone's face. I like to see them be in a better position than what they were before. Whether it's like, you have a friend, it's late at night, they're just going through something, they just want someone to talk to. I say, call me up. I'll be there to listen. I'll be there to talk. I'll be the shoulder you can cry on. And I also help people every single day because I have to fix their cars. So, fixing their cars and putting them in better conditions than what they were before so they can stay safe on the road and help and just be able to help. Knowing that I did that, it makes me feel good. It's like, hey, I made a difference. Now someone can drive safely knowing that the car is not going to do anything wrong to them. It's such a funny thing with everybody. I'll start off with Jordan. So Jordan, I remember him because back in middle school, he used to sit at my same lunch table with a mutual friend of ours. We didn't really talk entirely too much because he seemed more on the quiet side. First, I thought he was pretty mean because he always had like a mean mug to him, but he was actually a really nice guy. And then as I entered high school, I noticed he was on the football team, and me and him started talking a little more, got closer, and then we ended up being in the same friend group. That was a fun time. Then our bond grew along with our friend group growing as well. Then Shamir, this one was a big shocker to me. So at first, I was on the game with Oscar, and when I was playing the game, he had a friend of his in the party with us, and then we used to play GTA, and then we played a bit of 2K together. I didn't know who he was. All I just knew was the voice, just a deep, scary voice. I thought it was a really, really tall, dreadheaded guy. Scares me. And then as I met him in person, there was one day like Oscar was like, hey, let's all hang out. I met him in person, and I realized like he was the one hooking me up when I was in middle school with like good food. I was like, oh my God, no way. It's you. It's funny how small this world is, and you never know whose paths you're going to cross and who's going to be in your life. I didn't know that my paths would cross with him later along the line, and I'm glad it did. With David was also another mutual friend through Oscar on the game. We would be playing GTA all the time. All I remembered was just the name Mystic, and it stuck with me for ages. It's just funny how like, holy crap, I like reconnected with him just recently, like a few months back, because I will say like we didn't talk entirely too much, but then once we reconnected, it was like nothing was ever changed. Like me and him were so good on the game, and then when we reconnected, it's like nothing has ever happened throughout the time. And the last person along the list is Oscar. That was a funny one too. I met him in my freshman year of high school. We were all in the same friend group. We had me, Jordan, him, and then a few others that we had to pull ourselves away from, because as time was progressing, we noticed that that group that we were with was not healthy for us. They were just mentally draining, and we couldn't be around that energy. So as I moved away, he pulled himself out, and he pulled Jordan out of the group as well, so we could be better people. And before I moved away, I remember we were having a conversation about playing Call of Duty and playing 2K, and then he's like, yo, take my number down, I'll definitely cook you in Call of Duty. And I was up for the challenge. So as time went on, we used video games as a way to grow our bond, playing all the time. He convinced me to play 2K, which I'm grateful for, before it went to crap. And I wasn't expecting our bond to grow that much. And throughout the years of high school, he was the one who checked in on me more than I checked in on him. I was never really big on like really calling people as much. I would let them call me, but he always found like some time, like, you know, like, hey, just want to check in. You doing good? Yeah, I'm good. And just recently, like our bond, it's like this right now. And I'm very appreciative of that. In 2023, Oscar called me. Thought it was going to be one of his wellness checks, be like, you good? Or if he wanted to hop on the game or something. But he called me. He had a serious tone in his voice. Like, what if we all like started a podcast together? You know, we could start speaking our message. We could, you know, spread more positivity to the ears of the people in the world. We should really do a podcast. At first, I was like, you know, with me, everybody always brings up an idea to me and then they never follow through. So I was like, you know, sure, I'd be down. But like in my head, I was like, I don't know if we're going to actually go through with this. And as the year went on, we enter in 2024. I knew he was serious because he wouldn't stop talking about like, I really want to do this. I really want to get us all together. I want us to really spread a good message and spread some positivity. I was like, oh wow, he's actually really serious. So when he started talking to me more about it, he was like, are you in? Are you down? I was like, you know what? Why not? I'm down for it. I'll give it a go. And then that turned into this now. Who knew that we'd get this far? And I'm proud of our progress. I personally wouldn't change a thing in the world. I feel like everything happens for a reason, because I think God has a plan for everybody. Everything happens for a reason, and without regrets, failures, mistakes, you wouldn't be the person you are to this day. So I say I wouldn't change a single thing, whether it applies to my life or anybody, just like in general. I would not change a single thing. My main goals for this year right now, well, for one, I just want to stay more consistent in the gym. 2, I want to be able to see myself move up in my job. And then 3, I want the podcast to level up. I want to see it grow a lot more than how it is right now, because I know it can and I know it will.